He has an ADC guide tailored to you. Is it this one? Aiming for ADCs with no hands. Oh, because I have no hands. Is that the joke? Let's fine.
Playing
Let's watch
ADC
this.
can sometimes be a miserable experience, and having to play ADC in lower ranks just makes that problem even worse. You've got supports and junglers who don't play for you at all, and you often have to verse
Okay, ADC with no hands. This is a guide for all of you guys.
full team compositions full of assassins. So today, we'll explore what climbing on ADC should look like by giving you realistic advice for all aspects of AD carry
Oh
gameplay,
my god.
by combining in-depth explanations with footage taken from my livestream. As a final disclaimer before we start the video
Bro,
as
that's
well,
him? What was that
some
actual?
clips from this video were taken from the very beginning of my Filter Challenger series, so not all gameplay shown is from a super high elo. My goal here isn't to show off by stomping in games played at a lower elo, it's to provide educational content so that I can help people.
Okay.
By using a game I played as a template to teach, and this game I played provides a really good template to do it with, so I'm going to use it. So, from early game laning tips, to a support who abandoned me to play 1v2 and how I dealt with it, and even some really cool mid-game macro that not enough people know how to utilize. There'll be a ton to cover in this video.
You do be smurfing though, so... I don't know, might have to contact the police, honestly. Might have to contact the police.
Let's roll the intro.
My name's Rogue, and I play
We might
League of
have to
Legends
shut down his
professionally for
YouTube
7 years.
channel.
Now I'm a full-time content creator and coach for all ranks, iron through to challenger. So if you want more information of what a coaching session with me will look like, you can find more information by following the link in the video description below.
And while you're in the description, you'll also find the link
Bro,
to
this
my
intro
Patreon,
is so
where I post all
old that
the
he
recorded
made this
content
intro
me
when he
will
had
look like.
500 subs. And he got 1k views. And now he has 8k subs. That's 20k views on this video.
pro-level league looks like from the inside. That's why whatever you're looking for, you'll easily be able to find something that's going to help you improve, no matter your rank. Upon the game starting, you're going to notice the first thing I do is I instantly run bot lane out of base before the minions have even spawned, in order to take position in the bot lane bush. This is due to the nature of the matchup we're playing. Sivir Zyra vs Ashe Karma, a double range versus double range bot lane matchup like this with a lot of skill shots. In these types of matchup, the side who takes push on the first wave of the game starts at a massive advantage.
True.
Now the tech is, if you run in at this angle, you see if they enter the middle bush, so you know if they're there. Then you throw a W at this, so you know they're not there. And now I get to start in lane with full control. Karma, just stand here, just so they don't come behind me and kill me. Just stand here. Okay, he doesn't understand, but that's fine. He's doing the best he can. And what I want to do is, as the wave enters, we backpedal and hit the wave to instantly establish push, and then we throw shit at them as they enter.
Bro, what the fuck are his keybinds? Why does this say null? Look, null, 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 null.
Wave enters, we backpedal and hit the wave to instantly establish push, and then we throw shit
How
at
is that
them as they
possible?
enter. Push. So they made the mistake of giving me too much space here. So I've already killed off one minion before the wave hits neutral, and we're starting to pull ahead in the push battle. Now I'm going to go take top pocket of the lane so that I can match the Sivir, since I can out-trade her pretty easily.
We gotta work on the CSing though, beast.
Now we have push advantage, so we win this really hard here.
Oh
I have
my
equal tempo,
god.
So I'm not going to stop fighting for any reason. I'm going to barrier for the trade.
He wasn't kidding about the title, bro.
Now this favors me really hard because we should be getting ahead in push advantage. And pretty soon we're going to hit 2 first, and they're not going to be able to hit the wave anymore. And I'm
Didn't
gonna
look
start
like we won that hard.
lifestealing them at that point. Alright, the first thing to note, as I already said, is that I suck at last hitting, so I apologize to your eyes. Now, this trade I took obviously wasn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, you cut out the W that you missed earlier, but...
In front of your enemy and losing most of your health is not the best thing to do, but what you would have noticed is that I was insanely positive about it. This is because of the simple fact
When you have push, any trade is a good trade, kind of.
that I took that push advantage using the lane start I had at the beginning of the game.
This is true, it's
which is
good.
important for 2 reasons. The first is something I already just
I
hinted
think a lot of the time what would happen here, if this was a lower elo player, like a lower elo Ashe here that I've coached, they would just, when they get chunked like this, they would get really scared, and then they would stop hitting the wave. But it's really important that you keep hitting the wave, because it's by keep hitting the wave and the fact that you keep the push, that you can still control the lane, and you can still actually play the game.
This is because of the simple fact that I took that push advantage using the lane start I had at the beginning of the game, which is important for 2 reasons.
Well, he'll
The
explain
first
it,
is
so.
something I already just hinted at in the commentary. Once I get ahead and push and we're about to hit level 2, Sivir is forced to move back and stop auto-attacking the minions.
True.
Meanwhile, I'm able to continue hitting the creeps if I want to, meaning I can utilize the lifesteal of my Doran's Blade much more than what she can.
True.
This is something I always explain to top laners. In top lane, if you're in a losing matchup where you can't easily auto-attack the minion wave as much, you're often better off taking Doran's shield in order to utilize his passive for sustain, since if you can't actually hit the minions as you're being zoned, you're not going to benefit much from lifesteal. Whereas if you have Doran's blade and you're able to take push, you're going to get a ton more lifesteal since you can hit the minions.
Yep,
the second
that's
reason
true.
why I'm happy about losing this trade is, well, let's just watch and see and let in-game road explain that one. So what I'm going to aim to do here is fast crash this third wave and reset because we're on split map. So we traded super hard, which means my big focus is on getting the wave in. And then I can take a free recall, and since we're on split map and their jungler can only play bot side of the map, if I'm in base during that timer, I can avoid the gank timer completely. And I can also get health back and just checkmate this guy into a completely losing situation. So I take cheat recall here. I tell my Karma what to do.
Okay. I don't want to be toxic, but I can't tell if he's like intentionally playing bad to make it more like accurate for low elos, or if every stereotype I've ever had about supports are correct. Because this is some of the worst micro I've ever seen from a high elo player. Like these clicks here when he's pushing the wave.
The gank timer completely. And I can also get health back and just...
Like he's not moving in between auto attacks. What do you mean supports? He's ADC? He's a support main.
Checkmate this guy into a completely losing situation.
Like
So I
his
take
last
cheat
hitting,
recall
his movement
tell my Karma what
is...
to do. He's gonna have had Cole, but... And now Karma... Now I take cheat recall, I buy a longsword, I should have had Cole, but... And now Karma, all she has to do is hold the wave. Because it's a cannon wave, it takes him a really long time to push in. I'm always going to get back in time. And if Karma can hold the wave out of turret and maintain a freeze, it's really good. Tank.
Each
Tank.
creep is a
Yeah,
lottery.
Bang. Just like that. Bot lane is GG. If they chase in the wave, he has no HP. If they don't chase in the wave, they base with a freeze.
But I don't know how to coach him, chat. Like, how do I coach him and tell him to click better? Like, he already knows a lot about the game. He's a support.
This is the power of the lane start and the push advantage.
Haven't you already watched this video? No, I've never watched this video before.
Because of the extra
But we saw this example before of the holding the wave.
The fact that on the wave crashing into tower, I'm simply...
Talking about moving in between autos, what's the point if you don't need to dodge or chase? You just lose damage if you're not good. But that's what I mean. Like, if you don't have the habit of moving in between autos, every ADC main above gold has that habit. And it's so ingrained into you that you should always do it.
Gifted a free recall, meaning if I trade health evenly, it massively favors me. Since I did the recall as well just before the wave 4 cannon minion, and my support held the wave for us, we were able to...
Don't answer, I got a 2-minute ad.
And gain a
Chat, tell him
XP advantage.
I gave the
But
craziest
sadly,
answer ever.
this is where my game is going to start looking a little bit more relatable to you guys. And from this moment onwards, my support decided to start making some questionable decisions.
And he also, like, he got hit by skill shots as he stood still, so it's kind of like rage bait.
From here on, he just abandons me. You B. I tell him to B. Go base. Go base support. Go B. You've got 400 health, my friend. Alright. I just went 2 points Q. I'm trolling. I thought I hadn't skilled it yet because it didn't light up, but that's not how Ashe Q works, is it? Alright, bad play by my Karma. Because she's left
Thank
the
you,
lane
Chad.
unattended when they got back here, when she could have easily recalled while they were in base. So this fucking sucks. Where's my Karma? Alright, my Karma has randomly walked off to go into the river when I'm trying to re-establish push. So I guess I lose push again. Alright, I'll just stand at my tower and wait. Because my Karma went to the river for no reason. I knew ADC would be painful. Now my fucking support is top lane. At least he's getting work done. We'll say that much. Now this is the part where a lot of low rank ADC struggle. Your support has abandoned you. You're left to 1v2. What should you do? The answer is, it's not actually that bad, because likely your opponent is going to be making the exact same mistake that my opponent is making. What the opponent should be doing is double stacking waves. This way on the first wave, they can slow push and deny me gold and XP 2v1 as the minions dying are so far away from my tower that I can't even get in range to get them. Then on the second wave, they can simply fast crash the wave into tower and get far more
Notice how
damage
mad
with a
support
double
players
stacking
get when
wave
they have to
than
lane
can
with
make
one.
a singular one. Instead, the enemy bot lane is just feeding minion waves into me one at a time, meaning I'm not actually losing any XP at all. If anything, I'm getting solo XP, so I'm actually gaining more. Sure, they're getting a turret plate here or there, but for me, it doesn't actually put me behind it all. It's not about what the enemy bot lane gets.
Why are you watching how to climb when you don't have hands as ADC? It's for my viewers.
Simply put, I'm getting the same.
Finn, I want you to watch this, okay? We're having a discussion in chat. I want you to watch this and tell me that if this was another role than support, okay, actually, no. Just tell me this. Do you think he's intentionally playing bad? Or do you think it's just support main? First, we watch this trade, okay?
And we're starting to pull ahead in the pushback. Match the Sivir, since I can out-trade her pretty easily. Now we have push advantage, so we win this really hard here. I have lethal tempo, so I'm not going to stop fighting for any reason. I'm going to barrier for the trade. Now this favors me really hard because we should be getting...
Okay, then that, right? And then when he wants to crash the wave... Let me find it. Look at this. This was where I was like...
Recall, and since we're on split map and their jungler can only play bot side of the map, if I'm in base during that timer, I can avoid the gank timer completely. And I can also get health back and just checkmate this guy into a completely losing situation. So I take cheat recall here. I tell my Karma what to do. He's going to hold the wave.
I expect a level guy thing. That's what I mean, bro. I feel like he's intentionally playing worse for content. So that he can have the,
Where a lot of are so one at a time. Meaning I'm not...
Or either one, it has to be one or two things. Either he's intentionally not trying to really play well, because it is a good concept, right? If you just play bad and you just let the macro carry you. But it's also it makes me just think the stereotype of supports being super bad at the game. That's it's just so true, isn't it? It's just, maybe that's just it.
Actually losing any XP at all. If anything, I'm getting solo XP.
He's just a support man. He's just a support
they're getting
man.
a turret plate here or there, but for me, it doesn't actually put me behind it all. It's not about what the enemy bot lane gets. That I couldn't...
But Peppermint, are you genuinely not rage baiting? Do you not understand why you'd need the habit of moving in between autos? How do you not understand that? How do you get up in the morning? League is a game where you need to move to do everything. If you're gonna space someone, you need to move. If you're gonna dodge skill shots, you need to move. If you're gonna kite someone, you need to move.
Less about. It's about what I get. Simply put, I'm getting the same amount of gold and XP right now, even in the 2v1. Okay, Sivir is getting more gold than me.
Doesn't that be mean?
She's getting turret
I
plates,
gotta be
but
mean.
compared to the solo laners and the jungler of the enemy team, I'm keeping up. And thus, I will be stronger.
You gotta move in, we can't seriously be discussing if you need to move in between autos on ADC. We can't be discussing this.
I spent a good couple minutes here just simply...
Yes, chat, you should move in between autos when you play ADC.
Serving health, but out of nowhere, a little opportunity popped up, and so I took it. The combination of lethal tempo and stacked Q did most of the work here, but also the XP advantage I
Okay,
had
bit of
as a result
movement,
of that initial
bit of kiting,
wave and this solo XP I got because of my support roam.
And then he puts a ward?
I hit
No, he didn't even need to. I was thinking he should put a ward over the wall so that if Syra flashes, he can immediately start auto-attacking him.
And so I can leverage that for a double kill. Nice.
Beautiful.
Now, after getting these 2 kills and then recalling, this is where the game becomes even more relatable to ADC mains. My Karma is mid, even though I just got a double kill. Fair enough. What I have to do here is just conserve health, is the most important thing. Because eventually, somebody who likes me will come back bot lane.
I like how he says that as soon as he gets hit by a Sivir Q. But yeah, he's right, conserve HP.
And if I have 1 HP, then I'm not going to be able to do anything once they get here.
True.
So even if I drop minions and tower plates, it's fine. My job...
Warding Tribush here so that if enemy mid or enemy jungler comes to dive him, he sees it.
Job is to keep my health so that eventually, when somebody decides they like me, then I will actually have enough health to be useful, but this just sucks. We're so much stronger and could be winning, but instead they're just getting free turret plates, and I'm just getting shit on. Guys, this is the most ADC gameplay, but this is what you gotta do. This is what you gotta do.
I mean, he is right that it's frustrating. The only thing I would say is you can still do things when you're 1v2, especially when you're playing in low relos and people are gonna mistake. Do you see the mistake that's happening here? It might be a bit hard to see because it's zooming in. But if Sivir is low range ADC, right? And she's hitting tower. You are playing Ashe, very long range ADC. And enemy support is not protecting. You see Syra here, right? You see Syra here? She's not protecting the Ashe. They're protecting the Sivir. So as the Ashe, this is a perfect opportunity where you can start auto-attacking the Sivir. And you get to chunk her down. No, moving in between autos never comes at the cost of damage. Peppermint. Art versus Cyrus, she can just eat the way slow you. No, because no, she's here, bro. She's here. Guys, actually, you know what? You guys are being stupid. You guys are just being stupid. You do an auto attack to Sivir, and if Sivir clicks back, you don't get the auto attack on Sivir. But Sivir is making a mistake right now, or Cyrus is making a mistake, whatever you want to say. They're not linked up together enough, so you want to punish that when you're 1v2. And that's how, because they can also not hit you back. If Sivir tries to hit you back, she gets tower aggro.
This is just soft.
But you should be, like, you should always be able to move in between autos. If Ashe R Sivir there, she dies. Yeah, if Sivir doesn't press Spell Shield, yeah, but she's probably going to press Spell Shield now. It's not that hard. But it's good to start fighting the Sivir here for sure.
We're so much stronger and could be winning, but instead they're just getting free turret plates, and I'm just getting shit on. Guys, this is the most ADC gameplay, but this is what you gotta do. This is what you gotta do. You gotta play to what the cards you dealt, right? The cards I was dealt is...
No, moving in between auto does not increase your damage. And we're saying a lot of weird stuff right now.
Me.
Barrier! Big!
Right, I'll just 1v2 them, I guess. I don't know what that was about, guys. I don't know what that was about. Now here, very important, I do not push next wave. Why do I not push next wave?
I did the exact same thing. I hit tower and Ashe automated death because 650 versus 550, yeah. It does on Ashe because you're sticky.
Because look at their death timers, okay? Right now, I'm walking. How do I not push what that was about, guys? I don't know what that was about. Now here, very important.
He doesn't push the wave.
I do not push next wave. Why do I not push next wave? Because look at their death timers, okay? Right now, I'm walking out of base at the same time as Sivir and the same time as Zyra, which means we get to lane at the same time.
Okay. I agree, but if it's the easy rule that I always teach, if it's cannon wave, don't push it. If it's not cannon wave, you should push it. Because he could push this wave, and he would deny 6 minions from Sivir, and that's just good gameplay, and he could still recall.
If I get to the lane at the same time and I'm 4-0, I get prio. Therefore, I take prio, I can walk up and take dragon. But what happens if I delay my recall?
And if you delay it by 1 wave, it's still fine, you know?
Is they get out of base before me, they get to crash a wave into tower, then they get to walk up river, take vision, and take dragon. So if I say to take a minion wave, I forfeit all bot side vision and dragon. But since I insta-recall...
What if your wave starts slow pushing in, it's a cannon, but you're 1 HP? Like the wave is like here, and you're 1 HP. If you can't crash it, you just need to recall. If you can't crash it, you try to recall. Or you try to crash it.
Cool, I lose out on 100 gold from my reset, but because I get to lane at the same time as them, now they don't get a free lane of prio. And if they walk up like this... There we go, I get prio because I'm stronger.
Perfect
And then we can push the wave. And then we can walk up the river. Just like this. Check that Kha'Zix is there, clear out all their vision like this.
You should have taken the pink and tried.
I can't go further because the wave arrives in 5 seconds, so I have to be back for next wave arrival, because if I'm late to
Tells me that he didn't take the cannon.
my wave, I lose the ability to roam on the following wave. So come back for the wave. Now, I just want to focus on killing this wave, but if this guy wants to die... Nope, I'm 2v1 all day of the week. Yep, my Karma's walking top lane when I'm 4-0. Sometimes you just gotta ask nicely.
Nice. It's good. It's good to use pings and
Give that guy the
communicate.
snipe from downtown. There you go, he's dead. Now, after asking nicely, my support decided to actually come back bot lane again. And with the early lead we had and a support now in my lane, I was able to snowball, pick up another kill, and some turret plates on the next sequence. But that's where, out of nowhere, I do something that might seem a bit random.
Okay,
I
let's
to
see
mid
it.
lane before even finishing off the bot tower. Me mid, and I tell him. So this gives me a moment to swap there because he is in base. And because I'm a lot less mobile, I need the safety of being mid in the short lane since I'm in a mobile carry. So I'm going to swap mid preemptively before the towers even die. And from here, I can get...
Wow, I'm surprised the Ari goes bot in silver 1. I thought he would go mid for sure.
I'm a prio over everyone because I'm in the center of the map. And I can transfer that prio to every side of the map and go wherever I want.
It's not a bad...
what a play.
Wait, what did I just click? I just clicked my own link.
I'm going to hover down between waves.
What I was gonna say is, it's not a bad timer to go mid here. Also, only thing I'd say is like when you stay on bot, yes, you're less safe, but the enemy ADC is also less safe, so you can maybe keep farming them if you're fed. But going mid, you can push mid, move to sides, you can play for objectives easier, you have more safety. There's a lot of benefits of being mid. I mean, being mid is very nice.
And from here, I can get perma prio over everyone because I'm in the center of the map. And I can transfer that prio to every side of the map and go wherever I want. Holy crap, what a play. Here you go, I'm going to hover down between waves, just in case there's something to do.
Boom, boom.
It's good damage. Get back to the wave on time. Never be late to the wave, because if you're late to the wave, you lose the ability to roam. And I might be able to full commit bot and take the tier 1 tower here, we'll see. Or I could move top and kill the Yone. I feel like moving bot's better because my top lane is not doing well. I don't want to play around him.
It's really rare that you want to move to tier 1 as ADC.
But honestly, I'm going to go
because what you're going to see now is if he goes top, he will not be in time for the next mid wave.
because I see the jungler bot side.
We'll see if... I mean,
So
he's going to kill Yone, get the wave. But the only problem is if you get to a little bit higher elo here, and he moves towards top, and Yone runs away because he's on vision. Like they're on full vision.
Because with mid prio, I can roam to both.
That's incredible that Yone is going to die here when they're walking over a pink ward.
So he might get the turret, which is a bit of a shame. But we'll see if we can.
But now the problem that I presume will happen is
there are 3 reasons for why I did.
I want to see what happens, but maybe I'll see it.
Swap to mid.
I want to
the
see.
Distance between mid towers is shorter than the distance.
Normally, you don't want to move top in that scenario, and I want to see what happened when you move top.
Between towers and a side lane. As an immobile ADC, I'm a lot worse in wide open spaces compared to my mid laner Ahri, who is much safer in wide open spaces and honestly can use them to her advantage to chase people down. The second reason I'm swapping to mid is since I'm so fed, I will likely be able to take priority over every single mid wave that there is. With mid priority, you can move from mid to top side or mid to bot side, meaning I can have influence over both sides of the map, which is much more than what I can do from bot lane. Finally, at 14 minutes, tower plates fall. When tower plates fall, towers lose a ton of armor, so it makes sense to have me mid. I'm the best person on my team since I'm the strongest at being able to break open the...
Man, I didn't get to see what happened. But a good general rule of thumb for when you move on from mid is like, you're the red team here, right? You're the ADC. First of all, if you cross these 2 lines, like here and here kinda, once you cross these lines, you will lose minions on the next wave. It's a it's a general like this area, depending on when you took the wave. But like a good middle ground is like here, right? So when you cross this line, you're gonna lose minions on next wave. So you only cross this line if you're fully gonna commit to moving to either side, right? That's the first thing. So if you're not sure, you don't think it's good, just go here, walk back, okay? And if you think it's good, then the biggest thing that's important to note is that when you cross this line, that means that you ideally want someone else to go mid. So if someone else can go mid, it's good that you move, right? But if it's a full-on team fight, then you don't care because, you know, it's a fucking team fight. You're just gonna have to move and fight it. If it's not a team fight, like a pick, like he was doing, the worry that I have that can often happen is like, you chase enemy top laner. Wait, this was the map state, right? It was him and his support moving. Enemy mid was bot. His mid was bot. No, enemy mid was mid, no? Bot, something. It was something like this, right? And the worry that I have that can easily happen here is you guys go top, you start chasing the enemy, your top laner is dumb as bricks, so he starts going top as well. You guys eventually kill the top laner, but then enemy mid is pushed mid, and he gets the mid tower. You guys get the kill, but he gets the mid tower, and it's really not worth for you guys, because you lose a mid wave on mid, and you lose the mid tower, but you get a kill, but now they're pushed in mid, the enemy gets the recall, they can even move into bot. Like, a lot of the time moving for this can just be pretty bad, because you end up losing so much potential, and you lose waves, and they can get a counterplay on your mid tower. So usually the only time you really want to move as ADC is for tier 2 plays. Like if your team is playing for top tier 2, moving for tier 2 is both shorter, because like if you're moving for tier 2, you're probably getting the wave like around here, right? And moving to tier 2 is shorter, and also tier 2 is worth 700 gold, worth a lot of gold, right? So it's very valuable. And the same thing applies to moving to both tier 2. But it's rare that you want to move all the way to bot tier 1, because then probably you're here, and moving all the way to bot tier 1 is not that valuable of a tower, and it's really far, so then you're delayed for next mid wave, yada yada. We already explained why that's bad, right?
Now vulnerable enemy mid tower, but I'm also the best person on my team at being able to protect ours, so I need to be here from 14 minutes onwards. Now jumping forward a couple minutes later, let's talk about neutral objective contests and their positioning. When playing around a neutral objective, the most important thing to do as an ADC is to secure a direction to kite, either up or down river. Now I see a lot of ADCs get baited at this point by the generally good advice of always catching the wave first before moving into a neutral, but situationally this should be ignored. After catching this mid wave, the dragon is already alive, and the following arriving wave won't be here for about another 20 seconds.
Yeah.
If I was to stay mid in order to get this next wave, I would have terrible positioning over the dragon. If the enemy team during that time walked into river, I would simply have enemies in front of me as I tried to enter, but I could also have enemies just sitting behind me, since all they would have to do is just sit at their raptors or around mid, and once I walk into river, their positioning would become a flank angle onto me. So instead, look at what I do. I'm going to leave mid open and go into river here. Right, dragon has already spawned, therefore next mid wave does not matter, let's just start the dragon. We can finish this dragon before they do anything with that mid wave, and what's more important is that I have safe positioning to kite down river. Now, let's pause right here for
I mean, I think what ideally happens here instead is Shaco puts a box here, Ashe gets the mid wave with Karma here, and then they move into Drake. It's just better League of Legends, because now they can easily take all this space because you didn't push the mid wave. And you can kite down to river, but if you give this space against enemy team, it's really hard to contest Drake. So I don't agree with this, but it can be hard to mind control your teammates, so sometimes you should just run to Drake.
a moment and look at the positioning of my Karma, for example. It looks terrible, right? She's completely split from her teammates, and if she tries to walk down the river, she can very easily be flanked by an enemy who simply waits at the enemy raptor camp and comes out behind her. Now, of course, the downside of doing this is that I've just left my mid tower vulnerable and the enemy can take it. So this is not the perfect play by any means. I might not do the exact same thing in a challenger game, but securing this positional advantage makes neutral objectives
in a challenger game, everybody would be on this mid wave.
So much easier, and likely in lower elo games, people won't even think to push mid, because they'll be so obsessed over the dragon, which I now have good positioning for. So let's ensure that I have safe position to kite down river by getting into river rather than getting stuck mid lane.
Has the League music on. That's psychopathic.
This guy wants to jump on me and kill himself, I'll take it. And let's just fight after, guys. Keep going. Alright, I'll just finish the dragon because you guys got that handled. Good as shit, boys. And now, what do we do after fights, guys? We fan out. I see all of my teammates run mid. Where do I go?
Not mid. Not mid.
Right? You fan out to maximize the reward of winning a fight.
True.
This tower, I get all the gold from it that we wouldn't have gotten. This wave is a wave
He didn't get the gold, no?
winning a fight. This tower, I get all the gold
He didn't get the gold.
from it that we wouldn't have gotten. This wave is a wave that I get that we wouldn't have gotten. There's two people dead. There's one mid, one top jungle. That means bot lane's open. This tier 2 tower is potentially something that I will get that we would not have gotten if I didn't go bot lane. So I'm absolutely maximizing the reward for the winning these fights here. So we'll see if I can get this. Kha'Zix is coming, but I've got Yorick, so should be fine.
W!
Stay in the wave.
Why didn't we W? W, W, W.
Stay with the wave, my boy. There we go.
Nice.
Look at how much more we get. We get so much more when you fan out after winning a fight, right?
Yeah, don't just
I
group
got
after you win a fight.
towers and 2 extra waves.
Push waves
That's
wherever you can find them.
1,500 gold, those 2 towers and 2 waves. 1.5k gold. Does chasing the enemies or running up mid give me more than 2.5k gold?
No.
No. So therefore, we don't do it. Now this part cannot be overstated. The biggest solo queue sin we always see is people winning a team fight and just 5-manning mid. But the upside of winning a team fight is that you cannot get picked by the enemy if you fan out since they're dead, allowing you to take farm and towers in more lanes than one. The one thing I didn't mention here is the tempo advantage of the next sequence. Since I push this bot wave all the way into the enemy's bot inhib tower, they then have to spend an enormous amount of time on the following sequence pushing it back onto our side of the map.
True.
The enemy Echo had to sit bot lane for over 1 full minute on the next sequence, just pushing this wave out, not actually doing anything. And with that time, we got a numbers advantage on the map, which I could use to pull off my own little play, which we're going to see in a moment.
Oh,
Alright,
let's
get back
see
to
the
work
little play.
on the mid wave. Now, I can't roam off this wave because it's super late. It's already been there for a couple seconds. So I'm going to wait for the following wave so I can kill a fresh wave. And then we're going to transfer Prio into one of the side lanes. Now, Atakan's up, but to be honest, I can kill Yone before the Atakan spawns. Go,
He
go,
didn't
go.
kill the last
Go, go,
minion.
go. Run at him. Run at him. Go. Yeah, here we go. I'm coming.
Okay. That's him, baby.
And there we go. We can get this kill before they start Atakan. And now we can move down. I should still be in time to contest the Atakan if they start it, but they won't. But this is what your job is when you're mid lane. It is to push mid and transfer priority into a side lane. So I'm pushing the mid wave, and because I've killed the mid wave, I can move into the side lane where the wave hasn't yet died, and I can take out someone like that. And because I push mid wave, I can see them catching it, so I know we
True.
have a numbers advantage.
True.
Now, I sort of explained already, but let's break down what was happening here exactly. The first thing to note is that in the mid game, the mid wave is arriving 10 seconds sooner than what the side wave is. Meaning if you kill a mid wave quickly, like I did, you can move into the side wave in time to protect the side wave which hasn't arrived yet. Another thing to note is that because I pushed the mid wave in, it is revealing both Sivir and Zyra on the minimap, which just simply confirms to me that we have a numbers advantage if I move to another lane,
True.
which is how I'm so overly confident that we should be engaging onto Yone here. Alright, with that covered, let's time skip forward just a couple more minutes later into the video and see how things have gone for
Let's
us.
see some team
Well,
fights.
we got Atakan, we got Baron, and now it's about time to end the game.
Oh.
Really good. At this point, we've probably got about a 10k gold lead and we're holding Baron buff, so realistically, it's hard to lose, but the only way we could possibly lose this game is if the enemy team somehow gets a flank and kills me, the Fed carry. Since they cannot win a fight front to back, they have to get on the back line.
True.
This is where I'm going to give you the final tip for the video that you need to know as an ADC for when it comes to closing out a game cleanly.
Discipline.
Now, here's the biggest
Patience.
tip, guys. Go top lane. Go top lane. Do not go mid, go top. Because I can get flanked much more easily if we're in mid lane. It's much harder to flank someone when their back is facing the edge of the map. Oh shit, where's my team? I just 1v1 Kha'Zix real quick.
Bro.
Alright, we'll take that. Don't know where my arrow went. It's in Narnia. But now they won't be able to flank me because if I siege from a side lane, I can...
This isn't really true though. Like the mid lane is safer than top lane or bot lane. Like this is often where you throw games. This general area here, and the same for bot lane. While in mid lane, yes, they can flank you from both sides, but you're gonna put vision on one side. You can even put vision on both sides. You can have Yorick splitting. I don't think he should go side here. And he should definitely not go side alone, because this is going side alone like this, being impatient. Like the real thing that will get you killed as an ADC in the late game is being impatient like this. Your team is not rotating, you can't just rotate. Like if this Kha'Zix was not 0-10, he would just one-shot the Ashe here.
Harder to flank someone when their back is facing the edge of the map. Oh shit, where's my team? I just 1v1 Kha'Zix real quick. Alright, we'll take that. Don't know where my arrow went. It's in Narnia. But now the edge of the map, and no one can come behind me, as opposed...
And the problem is they can come behind you, you know? They can walk around, and then that can easily happen. Or they can TP behind you.
Got mid, where I can get flanked from two different directions at the same time.
Why is mid better though? Because it's really hard to get behind someone on mid. Like, it's really easy for someone to have either like a TP ward behind you on side here. This is a classic TP ward, like somewhere in this general area, right? Then they TP behind you. Well, if you're here on mid, it's much easier to just kite out this way. Because even if someone TPs on you here, that means you just kite out here. Someone TPs on you from bot side, that means you kite out here, you know? You always have directions to go.
So because I'm vulnerable and I'm versing assassins, we're not sieging mid, we're sieging top lane. Good shit, boys. Now, not everything that has happened has been perfect this game, but that's the inherent purpose of what I'm trying to say. Yes, my early training...
There's no real, like... It's pretty game dependent, it's pretty nuanced. There's no real, like, 100% right answer. It's gonna depend a bit on enemy team comps as well, how well you can siege, if you should play, like for example, this game you have a Yorick, so it would make kind of sense to have him alone, and then the rest of the team is together.
Back to the edge of the map.
Because for sure the riskiest thing he can do here is go alone.
No one can come behind me. As a vulnerable and I'm versing assassins, we're not sieging mid, we're sieging top lane. Good shit, boys. Now, not everything that has happened has been perfect this game, but that's the inherent purpose of what I'm trying to say. Yes, my early trading lane was bad, and I lost a lot of health for no reason, but because I had a push advantage, I ended up in a good situation anyway. Yes, I also got abandoned by my support and had to 2v1 for most of the lane, but because I kept my cool and my enemy didn't know how to properly punish it, I was able to simply conserve my health until I found an opportunity later on. The one thing that did go right for me was that my mid laner was kind enough to actually let me swap mid when I asked for it, which was great. This made me able to use my mid game macro to execute some really cool plays. The dragon contest as well was not picture perfect by any means, but by playing to realistic conditions, I was able to be much safer in my positioning around the dragon, and from that we got a really easy team fight. And of course, the AD carry shouldn't be the one to finish off dragon and go split push bot lane after a team fight ends.
Yeah, normally that's someone else's role.
That your teammates leaves is a core skill you've got to learn how to do.
True. I think adaptability is the #1 thing that's super important to climb in League. You need to be adaptable. If your mid laner won't leave mid, okay, you gotta be the side laner now. If your teammates are perma grouping and they're not farming sides, you gotta be willing to farm sides. If your teammates are always side and never grouping mid, and you can never team fight, okay, you can't get caught, you can't try to fight. You need to be adapting to what your team is doing. If your whole team wants to base, you shouldn't go and fight, you know? If your whole team wants to fight, you shouldn't go and base. You need to be adaptable to what your team is doing and what they want to do, and also what the enemy is doing.
And finally, I definitely deserve to have died to that Kha'Zix at the end of the game, after I shot my ultimate to Narnia. But we had a gold lead, so it's fine, and my teammates didn't listen to my call to come top lane, even though it was the objectively best play. So, in hindsight, maybe it would have been easier to just stay mid with them since they didn't follow me, even though it wasn't perfect.
If your team doesn't follow you, you shouldn't
that
go.
Will help you out in your next game of ADC. And hope as well your eyes didn't hurt too much watching me try to last hit as a jungle support.
What if after Drake, whole team groups mid, I go for both like he did and team dies mid? I mean, it depends. Like in this case, the fight had already happened.
Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out my Twitch stream where you can.
But if more fighting is happening, then ideally you want to be able to fight.
Watch these videos being filmed live, as well as checking out my Patreon.
It's not bad. This video, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's pretty good, to be honest. Pretty good. I think it has a better like lowy low. Like it's a very good video for lowy low, I'd say. Very good video for lowy low. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I'd recommend it. I think taking the advice from this video is good for sure. I'd definitely say so. Thank you, like Avatar. As soon as you disparate, I roll swap the mid lane. What the fuck? Enemy team has tempo pressure mid. Should I stay grouped then? If you think you can fight them and it's good to fight, then yes. If you think it's shit to fight and you don't want to fight, don't go fight. Like if I'm strong and I want to fight, fuck it, guys. Let's go fight. If I think I'm fucking weak and useless, and I don't want to go fight, I just go side. If you guys die because you're fighting when we lose, then it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Those against the Stones are getting national emerald. Can you give a blueprint of what a team should do with Baron to convert it into win? Oh, that's hard, bro. Games are thrown with Nash and even high-low as well. Like, you need to mind control your teammates a bit. You just make sure you're not the person that ever gets caught. So that means what's really important when you get Nash is you immediately press recall as soon as possible, unless you need like 200 gold for an Infinity Edge or something like that. And then you make sure that you're never the one to face check stuff and that you're not getting caught. And if you're not doing that and you're pinging your team a bit how to play, like ideally with Nash, you always want to play 2 lanes. It's really rare that you want to play 3 lanes. So I just want you to tell your team to go mid or bot. And then usually you'll have 1 person mid and 4 people on side. And like either 4 people here and like either one of these 2, you know, either top or bot. And then if they don't do that, it is what it is. Worst case, you guys just go 5 mid or some bullshit. Or you guys go 1-3-1, but the danger of 1-3-1 is like if you do 1-3-1 like this, what often happens is that enemy team just collapses on one of them, and then they die, and then you lose all pressure. That's usually what ends up happening. If you try to play 1-3-1. Usually 4-1 is less risky because it's hard to collapse on the 1 that's mid, because the 4 that are top will just be able to easily rotate to help him. And they'll have vision in the jungle for him and all that bullshit. Can't really do much if your team either overstays or if they just int it. All you can make sure is that you're not the imposter that ints.